What's going on there, RC fans? John from Hot Lap RC. We're taking a look at a question that I kind of had to ask myself, did a little bit of research on it. We're going with the RedCat Landslide versus the RedCat Terremoto 10, or even the Terremoto A scale. They make the same truck basically, just larger, basically. So we're going to take a look at both of them, figure out the differences and my recommendations, which one I would buy personally, and let's go over it. So why do I have two Terremoto 10 V2s? Well, I wasn't going to buy it. I watched some videos on YouTube. There are known steering issues with this vehicle, and there are some fixes that people talk about and things like that. We'll go over that. But still, even with the fixes, I don't feel as though, unless I upgrade the steering servos, that it's ever going to actually work the way they should normally and the way that this works. So that's definitely a negative on the Terremoto 10. So again, they kind of have like a stigma. So why do I have two? I was able to get them super duper cheap. I think I paid about $250 for both total. One on eBay and one on Amazon, used condition, but was literally brand new. So I just took a chance, figured, hey, what's the worst that can happen? I can fix the steering issues, and I get some good motors, and hopefully it'll all work out. Let my kids drive them when we go to the Crash Valley, Death Valley, I call it, and they want speed, and these are fast. And they don't wheelie immediately because they're kind of long. So they were actually good for me to give my kids in a big open area with big jumps. And they did end up breaking this one. My son broke this. But, I mean, not a big deal. Easy part to fix. Very cheap piece. I'll deal with those issues. So they ran great, even for the kids. But again, even the kids said that the steering was wonky, they said. That it would track one way and then track the other way, and I've kind of noticed that myself. So I did do the switch on this one, the fix, and I did not do it on this one. Enough about the Terremoto 10 V2s. Let's talk about the RedCat Landslide. Now, I think this is more of a stunt truck compared to this, which is more of like a racy monster truck. So this, much bigger wheels and much closer together. So you got a lot more mass going on. So this thing wants to wheelie like immediately. And I actually didn't drive it almost at all. And you can see how clean it is. Because as soon as I took it outside, I was just flipping it over the second I hit the gas. I mean, there's like no low speed with this thing. It just immediately would just flip itself right on its top. So I didn't want to destroy it before I had a chance to really do something with it. So I ended up putting a little custom-made type wheelie bar back here. Again, we'll go on that too. So just slightly different types of vehicles, realistically. Stunt-type truck, ultimate basher, more of like a racy type truck. But I don't see how you're supposed to race inside of tubes if the steering's all wonky. So I don't really get any of that truck at this point. So it depends on what you're trying to buy. If you want a basher, I'll end the video right now. You want to go with this one, not the Terremoto 10. But spoiler alert, obviously. I think this truck's more like, like the Outcast or the Notorious. It's not as big and beefy as that is, but it has the same type attitude. Now, let's get the bodies off and discuss why I want to talk about it this way. So let's get this body off there. Let's get this one off too, so we can. You know what? You can probably just see the thing from the bottom there. So this totally different chassis designs. First off, right off the bat, you can see that this one's more of the classic RedCat cage. It's just like a big tray, Everything's just kind of located in certain spots, and it's laid out very well. Huge, big old long 540 motor. I mean, this motor has got a ton of torque. It is huge. It's way bigger than the one that's in the Terremoto. You know, you can see this it's decent. It's not a bad guy. And I feel like an idiot if they're exactly the same, but it just definitely feels way torqueier in this truck. Maybe it's the big wheels, the gearing, but it's a nice big old motor, very solid. I like the battery tray. It would be nice if I could have them flat, but I do like this style as well. It's just you can't use any of the bigger packs. You can't use long packs, and you can't use fat packs. You have to use, like, you know, your standard sized battery. I did wire in some LED lights into both of these just because the RedCat is just so easy to do it with. This one I did a little bit more professional job with the nylon stuff. This one's just kind of whatevered. And then I got in the back as well. You can see the little red lights. Not perfect, but does the job. I didn't do it to that one. So here's that steering thing we're talking about. Let's take a look at that real quick. So first off, over here, standard old steering style. See, servo down there, normal, you know, that's the way it's supposed to kind of be. Always has been. So they engineered this. It's got a servo down there that comes into this piece, which goes across down to those pieces, and it's just, you can see how wonky. Like, look, I'm not even moving anything, and look at that. That's just way too much travel. All right, it's freaking ridiculous. So what they talk about is maybe attaching something from here to kind of add some structural rigidity, and you can see I've done that here. And there are some people online selling, you know, like these pieces, saying, "Oh, I found the specific one that works, and you can buy them from me for $15." You know, and that's just a great deal, dude. They're literally this one right here. It's literally the back piece. It's the same part. So how far did you literally search to find that piece? So anyway, you can just use the back link. And then longer screws. I put some fuel tubing in between because you want to space it a little bit so it doesn't hit that cup in there. You know, if it's too close, it'll hit the cup. But otherwise, it works fine. It's beautiful. So even with that, though, the steering's not great. It seems to track one way, and you got to like physically kind of bump it the other way, and then it doesn't want to move from that. It never wants to really find center. And I think a nicer steering servo would probably do that. I can't see. It's a 15cc servo, so it's probably not metal geared, and it's probably not really 15 kilograms. So yeah, I think they need to be upgraded. So you're already spending $300 for this, and this is $300. In my opinion, you got to spend another $5 or $6 for a pair of these, and then you also have to buy an upgraded steering servo, and that's going to cost you at least $20. So, you know, So let's move on away from steering, which we all know is the critical part of this. So you can see this chassis is different. It's more of a elongated, and the motor's kind of strung in the center. And it's a different design, and to be honest with you, when I work on them, it's kind of refreshing and easy that everything is just kind of out of the way. So as far as like working on it, it's been kind of a breeze so far. Battery tray is very similar to this one. It only holds one battery instead of two, because this is 4S and this is 2S, 3S. And it only holds one battery. But yeah, again, same concept. It's only meant to hold your standard type battery, so it's not going to hold your long Traxxas batteries and, you know, such like that without any kind of modification. There's really no room for modification. So another thing I will say that I really don't like about the Terremoto are the tires. I mean, they're just kind of garbage. They don't balloon that bad, and they do keep control. but the pattern is more of like a street type tire than really like an off-road tire. And if you look inside there, I mean, there is so little plastic touching it, each one of these spots, that I'm sure at some point they're going to end up cracking. Now, these tires are like beautiful. I mean, they really nailed it out of the park with these tire combo, with the rim and just the foam and everything. I mean, they do balloon a little bit, not horribly. Maybe if you had it on like 6.8S, I'm sure it would be crazy. But on 4S, it's very manageable and really solid tire. I mean, even if you were going to just buy these for like, I would literally buy these for one of my other vehicles because they're just nice tires. They're not nice. All right, we could talk real quick about my my wheelie bar. I didn't do a review on this yet because again I was flipping it over and I wanted to get the wheelie bar on it before I don't even know why, to be honest, why I haven't done a review on it. So I bought the Integy. Is that what it is? Integy. So you guys can see that Integy. It's blue, so it matched the truck. Aluminum skid wheelie bar type thingy, and it had these thin wheels on it, and they worked. And that's what I was going to use. And unfortunately, I didn't realize they weren't Loctited already. So I put this on and ran out and drove it to see if it would work. And it worked beautifully. Unfortunately, I got a huge wreck, and one of them went flying, the other one kind of started coming loose. So I still have one, but I can't buy just the wheels. So I just devised this little temporary solution with some fuel tubing and some washers and then a pair of wheels from the like an Arma Outcast or something like that. And it, seems to work fine. I also was trying to do some machine work with getting these screws real nice and countersunk inside there and doing a beautiful job because, believe it or not, the holes line up perfectly somehow with the screws that are underneath. So you're able to take two screws out and put two new screws in that are a little bit longer. Now, I screwed up on machining a little bit. Couldn't get enough screw into the material properly. I screwed it up regardless. So the old fix. Throw some washers on there, good to go. I wasn't trying to have something that was going to catch underneath. But, shit happens and it is what it is. I'm not buying another one of these. It was like $20. So, is what it is. But I will say that I've only driven this thing on pavement, but it is a beast. I mean, it literally just very stable, amazing wheelies as long as you have room to do them. And really, really just a kick-ass truck. Haven't bashed it yet, so I can't say it's bash report, but from what I've read and watched videos, everyone says that this is just a way better basher, and you can clearly see why. For $300, I don't know if you're going to get a better monster truck type vehicle. That Cricket is going to make me freaking nuts. So for $300, I don't know if you're going to be able to get more monster truck for $300. Maybe there is. I don't know. Throw it in the comments if you think there's a truck that's more badass than this for under $300. Again, I do not recommend the Terremoto. I don't have the 8th scale version, and I don't recommend that one, and I don't even have it. I definitely don't recommend this one. I personally, if I could get my money back and just be done, I probably would. But I'm stuck with them. They're kind of worthless on eBay. So, for now, I'll deal, and eventually I'll probably end up getting rid of them. Who knows what's going to happen. We'll see. I'm going to probably end up trying to put it in one servo, and we'll see where it goes. I'll keep you updated as always, but if you were curious as to, hey, I got $300 to spend, and which truck should I buy? Landslide. All the way, guys. And gals. I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Peace out. Like and subscribe.